Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial. I'm just going to try to log into my, oh, I don't even know how to do that. Oh, where am I? I'm here. Oh, duh. I'm touching my screen like it's a, oh, here we go. So I just want to make sure you see me properly. So today we're going to talk about canvases, what the difference is between a canvas board, a stretch canvas, prime, not primed. So I'm going to start with the canvas boards. These are like this. They're very skinny. It's canvas glued onto a cardboard. So that's why sometimes when we put a lot of paint on it, it kind of gets all wobbly. It's because of that. It's cardboard under. And I want to show you if you can see the texture. See how the texture is? It's kind of rough. Well, that's, it's very hard to paint on this and do crisp edges. Crisp edges are when you do a line, there's no little bumps on the line. It's a straight line. So that's what crisp is. And so this is from the dollar store or the $3 store, Dollarama. This is it. And I ordered some online that I thought were going to be better from Fix Smith. My first batch last year were great. This year, no. For the same price I paid last year, I like at the dollar store they're $1.25, and these I think I paid $2 or $2.50 each, and I wouldn't do it again because they're the same at the dollar store. So why not buy it at the dollar store? And last year the texture was better. This year texture is the same as the dollar store. So not going to do that again. And this one here is from Walmart. It says Daly and Rowney panel board. It's, I would say, probably same as the dollar store. So what do we do when you get canvases like that? Well, an option is when we use the palette knives, it doesn't matter. The grain, the texture of your canvas, because we work with very thick paint when we use our palette knives. Or sometimes we'll, like when we did the birch trees that with the sunrise, it was very thick. It didn't matter if it was gessoed, primed or not. So next thing is, what does it mean that a canvas is primed? It's just like when you put drywall on your walls, you have to prime it before you paint it. Well, canvases is the same thing. They are primed with gesso. Gesso is a very thick paste that you gesso your canvas. But when you buy canvases, it should have a coat of gesso. So I would say that the canvas boards probably do have a coat of gesso, but probably just one, and a very thin one. And that's why when you paint, it seems like you have to put coats and coats and coats. Well, your paint also has something to do with that, but it's almost, to me, it feels like the canvas is absorbing the paint instead of having the paint sit on top. So that's what gesso does. Gesso stops your paint from going in. So now I'm going to stick with the dollar store. This is a very tiny little canvas that came with this little easel. It was like a package. I wanted to do something with when I was teaching in person, do a painting with 4 squares, and COVID happened, so it didn't happen. So I've got all these little canvases, and can you hear that? And you see my finger doesn't go, my finger's not going down. Now let's compare one at Walmart. See, you can barely hear it. And look, my finger is going down. That's the one I used last Friday, to do the branch and the ornament. I kind of painted over it. You can still see the ornament here. And you see my finger? It stays there. That is way too soft. A canvas should be very tight, very stiff. Because when you paint, hey everyone, hi. When you paint, you shouldn't have to go down. It's very hard to paint when your canvas is so loose. So what you can do is mist the back. You mist it all over, and then you dry it with the hair blower. And this one I was able to tighten it up, but I did it 4 times and it did not want to come back stiff. That's because when it was made, it wasn't stretched enough inside. So it wasn't stretched enough inside. So what you can, and you see there's barely enough material that it would be very hard. Like you could unstaple it and pull it in, but there's barely any material left. Even look at this side. Like it would be very hard to do that. So, and I bought 2 sizes at Walmart, and both of them are so wobbly that it's unbelievable. So for me, not gonna buy them at Walmart anymore. It's a waste of my money for me. Maybe you guys were lucky and you were able to, you bought some, or you don't know the difference, so you bought them figuring, hey, this is great, but really, no. And these here, sorry, I have my camera turned towards me so I can see. This is Artist Loft, which I buy from Michaels, and these are level 2. Level 2 means that they are the artist level. So they are very tight. You can hear that. My finger doesn't go down. It's very tight. And look at the back. It's double framed. And it's just about, maybe 3/4 of an inch, maybe an inch thick. So, and it's very smooth. So when you paint and you do a lot of details, when you're on a canvas board that is very rough texture, it's extremely hard to do fine details. So with these here, much easier. And when you paint, it just, your breath just flows. It's amazing the difference. When I started painting with medium grade canvases. I was doing toll painting at that time, and a lot of times we painted on wood. But there were occasions that we did on a canvas, and the store sold, very good canvases. But then when I started doing landscapes and animals and all that, I wanted something even finer than what they had. So that's when I looked and found these canvases. And there's also this one from Artist Loft. This one is a level 3. The reason, and this one they call it a professional level. And look at the thickness. It's like 1.5 inches to 2 inches, and look at the inside. It's also the same thing. This is a very tough. It's never gonna work, because I had one that I bought, and when I did the La Pissenlit, my brain just went dead. I did this painting, and when I came to sell it, the gallery didn't want to put it in the gallery because the frame was crooked. So when we got home, my husband remade a new frame, and I restapled. I was lucky that my paint didn't crack. I was able to restaple it to the wood, and then I was able to sell it. But this here will never warp. With these here, I've been very lucky because it's also double frame. Never gonna work again either. But these here, you don't know. This might work. It's something like I used to paint on before. So When I do paintings for myself, I usually take the level 2 or the level 3 canvas, and that is what I like. Let's see what else. Actually, this is pretty much it. But what I want to show you is how to put gesso on your canvas. So this gesso paste is also by Michaels. And what you do, you use a sponge brush. You wet your sponge brush. That's what I'm doing now. And you take most of the water out. And I just dip. You know, I don't put it on my on a tray. I just dip. I dip inside, and I not too much, because you want it to glide. And I'm gonna take one of those little canvases here, and I'm gonna brush it on. And you brush it on and you spread it. Okay, you don't want any areas thicker than the other one. Okay, so that's all you do, and you would do the whole thing like that, and you just keep going in your gesso, and you just go. See, because I dipped into my pot, there's dry stuff on the edge, so I got a tomato. So you just keep going, and there's another little. So I'm gonna take them off as I go. I'm not gonna go to the end because my hand is there, so I wanted you to see. So you would do that, and spread it really nice. Like I said, you don't want any bumps, and then you would dry this. The next time I would go like this, and I would put a coat this way, and then I would dry it, and then I would put my hands on and see if it's soft, because these canvases from Michaels, the Artist Loft, are very soft to the touch. I cannot feel the grain of the material of the canvas under. And that's what you want on your canvas board also. So do that. You dry between each coat. It can take, depending on the canvas board, it can take 3 or 4 coats, because we're putting thin coats. And so that's it. And then you make it as soft as you can, so that when you do the details or when you paint, it's easier to have crisp edges. And like I was saying the other day, sometimes you're painting, make sure you close your jar back. You're painting and you're wondering why everything seems to be far away, because when it's far away, your edges are softer, it's not as crisp. And when you're right, the objects that are in front of you should have crisp edges, and it's very hard to do on the rough canvases. So guys, I think that's it. That's just what I have learned through the years about canvases. It's as you evolve in your painting, you might want to upgrade your canvases, just like you want to upgrade maybe one day your paints. If you're using a dollar store paint, as you grow into your painting skills, you might want to maybe upgrade to Delta or Americana, and then later on you might want to go into an artist paint. I have them all, and most of the time I use Americana and Delta, because for you guys, and even folk art, because for you guys, it's easier for you to find the paint and to follow me as I paint, because I'm using what you're using. So I wish you a great day today, and I will see you Friday at 1 o'clock for our snowman painting. So bye everyone. See you later.